Welcome back to another weekly episode of Building Our SaaS. I'm going to redo that. Welcome back to another episode of Building Our SaaS Business in Public. I'm Ben, and this is my co-founder, Tyler. And we are the co-founders of Masset. And these are weekly updates about what it's like to build a business in public. So
I'm struggling today. It's been a long
I'm
week.
struggling. I was just telling Tyler, I legitimately at 2 a.m. was woken up by my smoke alarm beeping at me. And then I got a notification that my kitchen sink was leaking and I had to go take care of that. And let's just say it wasn't a very sleep-filled night. Oh, and I don't have 9-volt batteries. So the beeping all night. So I put in these headphones, turned on rain ambient noise, and put on noise cancellation so I could try to sleep with the beeping all night. So
Well, I'm glad you
tired.
installed that leak detector because we need to take pictures of our leak detectors for SOC 2 compliance. So we can take a picture of that one and submit it. So that's great.
Really? That's good to know.
All of our offices have to have leak detectors. So that'll be great. We'll use that.
I love it. I love it. Well, Tyler, this week I'm going to go first, if that's cool.
Do it.
So the fun thing, and this is kind of a joint one. So Tyler and I, we got together and we're cheap because we want to spend our money on our customers in the company. And so when we get together, we rent out a room at the Provo Library. And so we went, and let's forget that I booked the wrong month and we had to do it in person. But we have this room booked out for 3 hours and we sit down. And then afterwards we went, and again, we're cheap. We want to keep the money in the business. We do let ourselves have lunch on the company, but we go to the food court.
At the mall.
Yeah. Because there's variety and cheap food. So we go, what is it? The Provo, what's that one called that we go to?
It's at Town Center. Is that what it is?
It's in actual Provo. It's not University Mall. It's the other one.
Yeah, I think the Provo Town Center.
It's the not nice one, and it's empty, and it doesn't feel alive in any way, shape, or form at lunchtime, at least.
It's always been dead. It always feels like, I don't know. We can continue with your story, which apparently invalidates our assumptions about this mall, but it's true. But it doesn't, I'd just say it doesn't seem like it's very busy when you're there at the food court on any given day.
Very true. So we went in the mall, and, our investors had posted on Facebook not too long ago that they have some, investment companies who are looking to potentially get some office space. And someone had mentioned, hey, we have a spot at the mall. And it's like, okay, that's a little interesting. We're not retail. I don't know. So we're sitting there, we're eating. And Tyler, I think you were just like, let's go check it out. Let's go see.
Let's go see it. Let's go find this office.
So we went and found it, and it's random. And sure enough, like there's this business that just like doesn't unlock their doors, and they have a bunch of standing desks, just like any other kind of tech company, but it's right there in the mall.
Shout out to Ruck, by the way. This is the company, the great company. And they do like construction delivery. It's like the Uber for construction. So they're based out of Provo Mall, Town Center.
And their office space looks cool. I don't think you can walk in, but it's definitely got the yellow and black construction vibe going on and all the good stuff. But so Tyler's like, all right, we're going to go into the business office. I went to the bathroom. He went to the office. And then sure enough, I come back and she's pulling out maps and all sorts of stuff.
I was all in, man. I was doing this.
Tyler found us an office space where if we were wanting a little bit more space, but Tyler, tell them about what kind of office space you found.
Well, I think you have to make sure you give this credit and set the space here, right? Like there's a few vacancies in the mall, and this is, again, invalidating our assumptions about this mall. Apparently, it's a hot commodity. Apparently, there aren't that many vacancies actually in the mall for office space, but there was one available that somebody else's misfortune is our benefit, but they had started it and they were going to turn it into a tattoo parlor. And so, so tattoo parlor in the mall. Apparently this is a thing, but they had already like sectioned it off for like private offices. And so there's like this 1,400 square foot thing that had, 7 or 8, maybe 6 plus a little bit of welcome reception area, whatever space carved off for a tattoo parlor. But that's like all these private offices. I was like, this is perfect. We're going to do this. We're just moving forward. Like, just give me the dotted line. I'm going to sign now. It's already all ready for us. We're going to live in the mall. This is going to be the new base for Masset. And I don't know if we can say what the pricing was, but it was a fraction of what other office spaces are around here. Like normally you're charging about $25 a square foot in prime office space around the
Even more sometimes.
in the Lehigh Pleasant Grove area in Utah. And this is obviously further south. It's more out of the way, but I mean, we were talking like pennies on the dollar. Like this was like in the $1 to $2 a month per square foot range. And it was like, yeah, like this is amazing. This is what we're going to do. My favorite part though is like, so the lights are turned off in this. And so we're walking through because there's no power, walking through with our phones, like looking at the space, and there's a service entrance that you can get to it without having to go through the mall. So it's like this back door that you open it and it like takes you into this back sketchy hallway that then leads to like the garbage area of Wingers. And that's like the primary entrance into your office space. I'm like, I love everything about this. Like, I don't see any downsides whatsoever, especially as we're hiring new employees. I'm like, this is it. I worked at a company named Domo, which was a great company to work for. And Josh James, their founder, early in the company, we actually had a pretty fair office space, but everybody always made fun of the carpet because the carpet was like fraying and falling apart and it was terrible. And his thing was always, I'm going to leave the crappy carpet. Like that was always his thing, because it's like, I want people to understand, no matter how much we've raised and how much revenue we have, we are a startup, right? And so that carpet was terrible. I think it wasn't until we moved offices probably 10 years into the company that we got some decent carpet. That was like, this is like my carpet moment. This was like, okay, people are going to know we're a startup. They're going to feel it. I was like, I'm all on board for this.
Yeah. So I think we're going to pass on it, unfortunately, because we don't need 5 offices. We are hiring. That's the other cool thing, is our first SDR starts on Monday.
Yeah.
And shout out to Whitney. She's going to be incredible. And I think we're going to bring on one other SDR, and we're going to kind of start expanding the motions. Sales have really picked up. Like, we've done really well. Like, I mean, this is a record-setting month, like a crazy month for us. And we've got a ton of pipeline. Things are going real well. So we're like, okay, well, we are going to hire. We are going to expand. So I still think, so they said, okay, here's the deal. There's a pretzel shop in the food court.
We didn't even talk about the pretzel shop.
That one we could get for even cheaper.
Yeah.
And so, but we'd have to put up some walls and stuff like that. But tattoo parlor, like with content marketing, like I wonder if we could like have a stall where people could come get free Masset tattoos. Is like,
there's an appeal there.
I know, right?
Unfortunately, it's just too big of a space still for us. Like, we just don't need that much space. Even if it's a steal for us, don't need that much space. No. So
we want one of the listeners of this series to go pick up that space. It is prime time. It is so cheap. Someone needs to pick up that space. If not, when it's around in 6 months, we'll probably go pick it up. To be honest, it was pretty golden. Other than that, so I've just been preparing for the SDR this week. I mean, obviously we've closed some deals, onboarding, all that kind of stuff. There's been a lot going on, but just really every time you bring on someone new to the company that's not a founder, there's a whole different level and dynamic. So there's going to be a lot of training about who we are, what we believe, how we sell, why we're there. What's so cool is this SDR, Whitney, she has marketing background, like a good amount of it. And in those early discussions, clearly got it. She got what we did and why we do it. And that was one of the appeals. And the whole goal with her is like, I think she's going to be an incredible, not only SDR, but like an AE and all sorts of a leader. So that's why we were kind of gung-ho on her. She's really incredible. And that's kind of what I've been up to this week.
Yeah, very similar for me. Started the week we onboarded a few customers last week. I don't know if it's a company vision or a company thing, but I always have this thing where like I like to have our customers feel real special when they first onboard. Like I like them to feel like that they're special, and they are special to us, right? And so we normally do a few enhancements or different things for people as they get onboarded, just because they're things that they need. So we did a few of those this week, did some fun improvements that are globally applicable, help everybody, but we're really tailored to a few of our new onboarded customers. Welcome aboard, everybody. We love you guys. And then to your point, Ben, like I spent a lot of the second half of the week kind of being an IT director, I think a little bit. Hunting down. I've been trying to sign up for the Apple business program. Man alive. Apple's Apple, right? Like they are terrific. But if anybody's looking to sign up for the Apple business program before you hire an employee, do it like right when you create your business before you hire anybody. Because I was like, I just want to give you guys money. Like I'm trying to give you guys money. And you're making it really hard to give me money. So I ended up going out just to Costco today and buying a laptop from Costco because I trust Costco instead of buying it directly from Apple. But so our first employee, Whitney, gets a laptop from Costco instead directly from Apple, but that works. But it's kind of like testing all of our, like you said, it's kind of an interesting thing to say, go from being just founders to having employees, because a lot of our processes, we have processes in place for SOC and for all the requirements and everything, but they need to be scoped to employees, right? Like we can't just say, oh, all of our Slack channels are open and free to communicate. It's like you need to lock down a few channels that have sensitive information or different things like that. So there's a lot of IT work that I did to prep for Whitney, and get everything running with our MDMs and our, agents on the computers and buying equipment and all that fun stuff. So lots of fun learning there, writing up employee checklist. Also, yeah, so director of IT and HR, because I'm running up employee new onboarding checklist as well. So that's the way it works when you're a founder.
Yep. So one quick thing, and we'll probably do a fuller episode about this at some point in time in the future. As you can tell, like we don't have a ton of headcount yet. If you look at our website, like we have some pretty amazing and large businesses working with us. We're about to be SOC 2 compliant. We're going against these massive billion-dollar businesses, to be honest. And honestly, we're winning contracts.
Yeah.
And one of our philosophies is we want to stay as lean as possible and as close as possible to the customer. And we've gotten to the point where we just kind of had to bring on the SDR function. But I would say most businesses that are working with the sizes of the companies that we are have made the conscious decision to raise extra capital and hire more. They're probably at that 10 employee range, to be honest, based off of the clientele that we have. We have done this on purpose. We want to be as close to the customer as possible, to do those special moments like a brand new customer comes on and we notice when we're onboarding that they're pulling in content from a specific source, and we say, you know what? We can make that a little bit better.
Yeah, we can make that better.
We could do that really cool, and that's the kind of thing that we want to do. So we do really love the clients that we're working with. We're onboarding a good amount of them and we're winning these contracts and all that kind of fun stuff. But I think that people are also starting to recognize, thank you, Sam Altman, by the way, for more than just OpenAI and all that kind of stuff that you're doing with that company. He has a quote about they're looking forward to the first billion-dollar company run by one person. And we kind of subscribe to the mentality, we're not going to be a one-person billion-dollar company. But honestly, our dream is probably like in the 50 range. Like if we're completely honest, our philosophy is if you're an employee, you have ownership over what you're doing. You have a responsibility and accountability to that. And if we don't have to have that, and if you're not directly tied to the customer or something like that, there's probably artificial intelligence or external resources or whatever. And don't get us wrong, like we use plenty of tools and resources and things like that that could be headcount. Yeah, but we have found other ways to do it.
That's not to say that we don't use contractors or other resources or other things to help supplement that, right? But like we try as hard as possible to not hire to solve problems, right? Like hiring to solve problems it's kind of a de facto way to do things in the tech startup space, is you hire to go solve the problem. And it makes it hard to be that, one person billion-dollar company if that's the way you approach problems, right? And so we do use a lot of other tools, a lot of other ways to approach and scale, and contractors and what be it. But in terms of hiring people, right? Like we're very intentional. I mean, look, we have the money. We could go hire people, right? Like that, we raised money, but it's intentional that we don't, right? Because we want to make sure that we're doing it the right way.
Yep, 100%. And it's just one of those philosophies as well. Like who knows where the economy is going? Who knows where anything goes? And we feel like it's a disservice to our customers to kind of run too fast and put ourselves in a weird cash position. Like we've made this commitment to our customers that we're going to be around for the long term, that their business is safe with us. And that requires that, yes, we have the ability to, service them and all that kind of stuff, which we've done. We've invested in the architecture and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We're not worried about bringing on 1 million more clients or any of that kind of stuff. But we also need to be responsible with our cash. We can't go wasting cash because we need our clients to feel as comfortable as possible that we're not just a flash in the pan kind of a situation, especially when you throw out the word AI, right? Like, yes, we do use artificial intelligence. It's to solve a real problem, but it's not the core of what we do. It's a component of what we do to solve these problems with content alignment and productivity and analytics and all that stuff. But we're not trying to just grow, get acquired, and move on with life. We want to be a responsible partner with the clients that we have.
Yeah, and like you said, we're already pretty much at and over time, right? Like this has been a long one, but we should do another episode where we talk about our whole mentality there. But there's this obligation not just to our customers, but to our employees as well. Like we made this conscious decision to say, look, we raised a bunch of money that could support salaries for a few years, right? But like we don't want to be the people that go and say, cool, we're going to go and hire 20 people. Oh, it's not working, fire 20 people, and then hire another 10 and then fire 10. Like we want to do a consistent, stable growth and fill needs and responsibilities as we have them, instead of having this just up and down that you see in so much of the tech world, right? Like we feel like we do have this moral obligation to employees as well, right? Which is part of it as well.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that was another fun update. We will send this out here on Typical Mondays, and everyone have a great Easter weekend, or hopefully everyone did, depending on when you watch this.
Yep. All right. We'll see you next week.